So this video today is related to culture, it's related to history, it's related to activism, it's related to lineage, and most importantly, it's related to change. What we have in today's society right now is change. A change that is occurring as a result of people of all shapes, colors, sizes, races, and creeds coming together and demanding justice, demanding change, demanding a paradigm shift of the mind. And it's all centered, it's all been galvanized by this Black Lives Matter movement. And Black Lives Matter, created and funded by George Soros, is automatically suspect because of that. There's been a few videos come out over the years, stating how the Black Lives Matter movement is not a movement of the people, by the people, and for the people, that it's something different, related to African and Black spiritual, cultural, social evolution, revolution. But there is a change happening. There is a change coming. And it's not coming out of the cultural community. It's not coming out of the political community. It's not coming out of the historical community in reference to African reclamation. These are not the communities making these changes. It's coming out of the Black Lives Matter movement. So what does that mean for us? Those of us that have been conscious, those of us who have matured through consciousness, who have went to the lectures of the 90s, who were mesmerized and amazed at the knowledge that was being brought by people such as Sherazad Ali, Khalid Muhammad, Shechem Shechem, Obati Shaka, Jacob Carruthers, Queen Nzinga, the ASCAC crew, so on and so forth. Those of us who sat in lectures and wanted to buy a video before this internet explosion, and then desired to expand our consciousness and our minds upon these concepts to such a degree that we can elucidate upon them. Those of us that are now in our late 30s, early 40s, right, and above. We are the tail end generation of the revolutionary generation of the 60s, right? Our generation did not have the power of the media, did not have the power of the internet. But these millennials, these 90s, these late 80s, 90s babies, these are the ones out here making the changes. These 90s and 2000 kids. But why? Well, part of that is because a lot of them don't. There's a lot, I don't know. I was about to relate it to the economic struggles, are a bit different. But I believe it has something to do with social media, with the internet closing the gaps between people in the world. And so what we have right now is this Black Lives Matter movement. Not necessarily a movement that would have been supported by historical, cultural conscious people, those of brothers and sisters that have put effort, time, money, blood, and sweat into the revolution, into the evolution of humanity and society into a more just and conscious entity. Whatever conspiracy agenda underlies the Black Lives Matter movement, we cannot deny its power now. And so there is there's changes happening. For these people to put conscious over symbolism, conscious over money, such as the basketball players refusing to play basketball for racist universities and things like that. This is important. This is significant. We have to be aware. We have to be involved. We have to change. We have to engage. I mean, we may not agree with it. Black Lives Matter is not necessarily a nation-building philosophy per se, but we cannot deny it. We cannot deny the power. We cannot deny the force, the structure, what is happening. These things cannot be denied. So it is incumbent upon us to be involved. We have to be involved. We have to figure out a way to include ourselves and our interests in the conversation. Otherwise, we let the moment pass. We let the moment pass. It's very weird, very weird, very weird. COVID-19 has been a subtle blessing. It's been a curse, of course. We have all suffered because of it. We've lost loved ones, we've lost friends, we've lost family. From some horrible, more than likely man-made epidemic, pandemic that has spanned the globe, has shut the entire world down. Now the world has an opportunity to heal itself, and apparently we have an opportunity to heal ourselves. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, huh? Are we gonna sit here and just say Black Lives Matter because of its inherent philosophy disagrees with the development of the black community as a nation state, that I'm not participating? I think that's a wrong stance. I don't think that's a stance of development. I think what we should do is we should see how we can cooperate with this movement, with this surge that is taking place. How can we include our conversation here? We have been traumatized by racism. We have been traumatized by white supremacy. And so many of us are going to be acting out of PTSD. There have been people who have been striving to maintain African dignity, black dignity for decades, fighting battles against injustice. And now we see change. Change coming from a generation that most of us laughed at and thought were lost. But that same quality that allowed us to say they were lost gave them the power for change. So we have to support, we have to be involved. Otherwise, we become relics of the past. There's only one constant in life, and that is change. We must be present for the change. What's your stance?